longer. God, the menus are different. This is gonna be awkward. Okay, anyway, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. I actually want to try to not have them be out of sync yet. At least not yet, you know? They just kind of run out of sync eventually. I mean, here we knew that they were going to start running out of sync. I knew that was going to happen here. So yeah, rules of the challenge are simple. We're gonna try to beat 2 games using just the one controller. I've got Pokemon Yellow on the right, Pokemon Red on the left. And that's the basic idea. I'm not gonna use any RNG manipulations. For the simple reason that getting that set up would be a little tricky here. Hey Weech, hello, hello. So these games, they are quite different in some ways, and then they're very similar in others. The goal is just going to be to try and beat both of them as quick as I can. Here we go. How are you doing, Weech? And how are you, Steve? That's a crit. Oh, okay, so we lose that fight. So we're on Vaporeon strats. Okay, I'm gonna wait until the other game is there as well. Just so I can have them a little more synced up. Hello, kitty. Izzy, you are kind of in the middle of my screen right now, so please stop. Izzy, hey, no, we are not doing this right now. Actually, I can defeat that Pidgey. Doesn't help if I miss. This is where it's kind of tricky to control both games at the same time. I might just... I was gonna say I might just try and sync them up again here. Funny how the random encounters just kind of screw you over there, isn't it? Also, just the little differences in like lag and whatnot, proving to be massive differences down the road. What's with this patch of grass and just giving me encounters all over again? Kind of annoying. Kitty, no. I'm just gonna talk from the front. I know it's slower, but... So yeah, how's everybody doing in chat today? What's up? What's going on in your guys' lives? Congrats on the new job. I know moving sucks. It is always such a pain. Okay. This might actually not be a bad thing. It is a little annoying that we keep getting encounters. Okay, let's buy... Okay, I'm gonna just try and get to the the Nidoran bush here. On preferably both games. Right, catching tutorial. Oh, that's a usable... Okay, that's a usable Nidoran. Let's hope this works. Come on, get in, please. Oh, I did not mean to use that potion. Get in, please. I may have to reset if it doesn't get in like the next 2 balls. I can look for Spiro if I have to. Okay, I'm gonna not... Actually, I can save that game here. It kind of does have to get in this ball. Okay. Like I said, I can catch Spiro, that's fine. I'm gonna just quickly note down the stats of the level 4. It is 18 HP, 10 attack. Okay, that's at least decent attack. 8 defense, that's annoying. 9 speed, and 8 special. Well, it is what it is. I'm gonna heal up because I took quite a lot of damage. That's not a Nidoran. That's not a Nidoran. That is a female Nidoran. I don't need a female one. I need a male level 6 Nidoran in that grass, for the record. You know what I could do? Because I took so long to get the Pokeball, I could opt to grab the Pokeball up here real quick. That's still the wrong Nido. Good, correct level, but wrong Nido. Hey, River on the phone? Hey, lady? Hello, hello, how are you today? Or how are both of you today? Can I find the level 6 Nido, please? I have literally seen just about every encounter except the level 6. Well, I've not seen the level 4 Nido either, but... I think Nidoran male is like 20%. Like, it's quite likely. It really is quite a common encounter. I could try desumming for it. Which is a little risky. Because it'll make it hard for me to influence the other game. I do not, no, but certain tiles of grass can't actually generate encounters. Oh, that is not what I meant to do there. No, the Viridian encounter rate is already really low. Like it is normally. And then on top of that, if there are, like, a lot of the tiles can't even generate an encounter. Okay, level 4 rat. I think that's too late. I think we've already passed the slot. Level 3 rat. Okay, there is a chance. Nope. That's too late. I've lost where we are on the D-sum. Oh, come on. Level 3 rat again. That should be the level 6. No. Nido female level 6. I don't think that's it. I think we've passed it. Oh. Okay, we got it. Still gotta catch it, but... Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, game. Okay. Phew. Okay, let's see. 22, 13... 11, 11, 10. Okay, now how am I gonna get myself out of this movement-wise? I think we do that like this. That works. Okay, we're making progress again. It took us way too long for me to get the Nidoran. Okay, that's 2 Leers. Or sorry, 2 Tail Whips. I think one of my Tail Whips may have missed. Entirely possible. Okay, the level 7 Nido at 14 attack, 12, that's really bad speed. Yo, Feka with the 54-month resub. Thank you, thank you. Right, it's still on Switch. I'm good, Feka. I'm good. How are you today? Already? That does not bode well. I'm just gonna take the center because it's easy. Right. That does sound quite boring. Thank you, River. Talk to you soon. And thank you for the good luck. Appreciate it. I didn't put Nidoran up front on the right game. Which means I need to switch to Nidoran now. Okay, I survived. Okay, we got them back correct. Yo, Dwayne, thank you for the good luck. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay, I'm definitely fighting the wrong trainer on the left game. Okay, let me do some DV calcs for the level 6. I did not see the stats. Oh yeah, sorry. Hold on. Let me. This way it'll make more sense for me. See, the way I had it set up is my two games were actually reversed from the way that you saw it. Okay. 22, 13, 10, 12, 10. And on this one, it is 28, 17, 14. Ooh, that's bad speed. 14, and that's really bad special, too. Okay, how am I going to approach this? Does that tell me anything useful? But it's good attack. I just don't know the defense on the yellow one yet. level 8. I saw 16 on attack, but I didn't see the rest. Okay. Let's see. 27, 12, and 12. Okay. So at least tells me a lot about the red Nido now. Okay. This is gonna be a little annoying. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make some trying to make some progress in the yellow game. And then in between battles, I'll try to progress in red. Which isn't necessarily always going to go well, mind you. I can at least do that, I suppose. Okay, I need a bunch of potions. I'll buy 7. And then 1. I think that gets me to the amount I needed. Okay, now I just gotta make sure I don't run into any... anything problematic on the right. Or sorry, on the left. In red. I'm sure it'll be okay, right? Wait, do I even have double kick? I do not. Oh, because I need to fight the Diglett guy. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh gosh. I need to use Horn Attack on... Okay, we'll do this way. I need to use Horn Attack on the Diglett. That one's more important right now. Alright, we grew to level 10 there. That doesn't tell me a whole lot. I need to heal that off. Well, I chucked the Pokeball at the Caterpie. That's not what I meant to do, but... sometimes them being in a fight at the same time makes this a little tricky. I should have tackled on the left. Well, maybe I can figure... this is yellow, right? Yes. 12. Okay, that's our yellow stats complete then. Okay, tough fight ahead. On both games, honestly. I didn't heal the... Okay, level 11. Does that tell me anything? It tells me my special is at least not 4. A return? Hello, hello, how are you? It certainly is. Oh, it used... I didn't see it use Bide. Oh, we survived it, though. I am genuinely impressed that we survived Bide. Well, that's 2 tough battles somehow dealt with. Alright, 33 minutes in and both games have finally beaten Brock. Which admittedly isn't great, but, you know. Yellow has some catching up to do, although Yellow is nearly caught up to Red. Well, at least we both Horn Attack, which isn't my worst option in terms of move. It is actually what I needed to do there. What are you looking for, Feka? If you're looking for the link to the Udis, exclamation mark Udi, the discount code is still active, but this stream is not sponsored. Oodie. O-O-D-I-E. That's these things. It's Hootie without the H. That's a really good crit. Yo, alright. Thank you for the good luck. Really would. How many Pokeballs? I only have 2 Pokeballs. I'm gonna keep looking for a moment longer because I much prefer Spearow on the left game. The last. Red mattered. Okay, before I go into Mount Moon, I'm gonna focus on yellow for just a minute. You know, that gave me a little bit more movement freedom. Tackle. Okay, time for yellow to look for a Pidgey. Did I really Gen 1 miss it? Yeah, I really Gen 1 missed a Horn attack. That has a good chance. Yes, I know the Udis are quite expensive. But, you know, I can say they are incredibly comfortable. There's a reason I'm still wearing them now when, you know, I am quite some ways away from it being a sponsor at this point. Like, I get cold real quick, and they are really doing a good job of keeping me warm, so... Okay, we're gonna have to just move through Mount Moon a little further. Oh right, random encounter, which means I can move in the other game. I gotta deposit the Pikachu. Very important here. Yeah, that's... I get that. Yo, Sans with the 69 nice month resub. Thank you, Sans. Funny number, yay. Let's go. It's the funny number. Okay, hold on. What's my specialist 21? How are you doing, Sans? It is the Bellsprout number, yeah. This is true. Oh, I can actually have the games... I basically got the games back in sync again. Heating up some soup for dinner. Nice, nice. Enjoy the soup. Oh, I was supposed to take on... Oh no, that's the super nerd. Never mind. It was good. It was good. Hang on. Oh boy, this is gonna be a thing. Is he a... I can imagine. I think I took a pretty lazy weekend as well at that point because, you know, it was. Okay, that's when I... Okay, that's perfect. I needed an encounter in yellow to so that I could take this fight in red and not in yellow. And suddenly, yellow is ahead. Not that that matters at all, but... yeah, that's... yeah, I get the feel. Oh crap, I meant to check my defense there. I have to focus on yellow here. Oh, fairy. You don't see that one often. Okay, I just wanted to know. And red takes back the lead. So it's normally about half an hour to get through Mount Moon. The fact that it is taking me nearly an hour has me a little concerned. Just because that is essentially almost twice as long. Granted, it took us forever to even find a Nidoran, so... that didn't help, I imagine. It's no secret that I do not like Sun and Moon. Moon is the objectively better choice between the two, at least from a speedrunner's perspective. But I'm just not a fan of either of them, really. Yeah, I would not recommend the speedrun at all. At least repels are coming into play soon. Thank goodness for that. Okay, 50 minutes Mount Moon. Yikes. And then the other game I'm not even done yet. actually gonna take off the Udi. It's getting a little too warm at the moment. Yo, Tim, with the raid. Thank you. Sorry. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow at the same time. I'm Cruel. I do dumb Pokemon challenges. Hello. How was your stream, Tim? I'm alright. I'm alright. I've been steadily improving, and things are looking up. Not bad, thank you. Got a PB on a new run, getting it ready for BSG. Nice, nice. Yeah, let me save there. Okay, yeah, gives me the opportunity to start the rival fight here. Gosh, game, why do you have to bully me? Got a couple cool new runs I'm working on actually, so looking forward to hopefully showing them off. Nice, nice. Well, looking forward to seeing them. Quick attack's good. We like quick attack. Mainly because it's not sand attack. That is a good crit. That's unfortunate. That's gust. Okay. We got through the Pidgeotto alright on that game, so that's good. Right, that's red, so we don't have double kick. In my head is like, okay, that's a rat. We double kick the rat, but we don't double kick the rat, because I only have double kick on yellow. No worries, Tim. Thank you for dropping in. Have a good one. Alright, we got through the rival fight on red. Now we gotta go take the rival fight on yellow. I'm gonna save here just like in the other game. Okay, now both games are going to be basically fighting at the same time, and that can lead to some tricky situations. Although Red has the advantage of getting Thrash really, really soon. I still get level 23 at the same time I normally do? I feel like I don't. Or maybe we do, I don't know. Well, we might. Oh, wait. I was supposed to candy there. Oopsie. Well, we didn't do that. Okay, I cannot mess this next bit up. I don't mind that I'm talking to the girl a few extra times. Keep that there. Like, I need Thrash on that Pokemon. Okay, 58 minutes in. Red has Thrash. Yellow not quite yet, but hopefully it will soon. That's a good crit, that saves me a turn, and it gets me level 21. And level 21 means that I can get Thrash after this fight on yellow as well. Which at least gives me a good move to work with on both games, right? Not that Horn Attack is bad, but... I'm gonna wait here for a moment, just so I can do that. Select Thrash, and then we can start the other fight. So the idea is, with these two games separate, would take me normally about 4.5 hours to beat, right? The goal is basically just to finish in at least less than 4. Preferably faster, but, you know, since that's both games combined, that seems like a solid baseline to work off of. Wait, I'm supposed to get the Charmander here. Okay, it's gotta pay attention here because we gotta double kick this hiker. Okay, we've made it through this area. I think I'm gonna just skip the ether and take an extra center, because they're just easier to manage. It's just that simple. It's easier to manage that way. Okay, this one I escape rope out. The other one I don't. I'm gonna take this fight first to get some extra experience, and then I'll go for Misty. My stats aren't that good on red. You got good attack, but you're not fast enough to outspeed Starmie. I don't even know. I probably didn't even need to do this, but that's probably why. It gets me level 25 before going into the Staryu, but with 15 DV attack, it would have been guaranteed anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the fight against the Goldeen trainer and then use that opportunity to walk down with the other game. Hey, Sora. Game's going alright. Challenge is going alright. We're still in there. I mean, normally I'd beat Misty around a little under the 45-minute mark. So as long as we can beat Misty on both games in under an hour and a half, that means at least we're technically speaking on track. Like, we'll have saved a good chunk of time in comparison to just playing it normally. Okay, I'm gonna get to the center and then go to Misty's gym, I think. No, it's literally the same controller for both games. I have not, like, I am using this controller. I'm playing on an emulator. Well, both of these games are on an emulator. And every input is the same for both games. So if I press A on one game or down on one game, I press down on both games. Yeah, it makes it an interesting little challenge. So we're playing both games at the same time, same controller, same everything. And every input gets put into both games. I mean, there may be in-game delays, which allow me to kind of play around that a little. Like when text is scrolling and whatnot, but generally speaking... Oh, that's not a good bubble beam. Yeah, it wasn't a crit. That was a crit. Actually, I just saved both games. I can safely do this. See, that's the other thing. Soft resetting is a soft reset on both. So we don't like to do that.
And suddenly, our games are back in sync.
Water gun is fine, but that is a crit, which is bad. Can I even live this at this point? No. Well, to be fair, both games were kind of a thing. Yeah, Misty is quite a hard fight because our speed is quite bad on both Nidorans. I mean, the Nidoran on red is actually quite decent in terms of speed. Like, it's a respectable speed stat. On yellow, it's quite bad. Oh, bubble beam. That's a bubble beam crit. On both games. X defend. Okay. I'm gonna save red. And then I'm gonna use the soft reset. Because at least that way red is gonna be past Misty. Yeah, that means not progressing on yellow for a little bit, but... At least it means red can progress again. while we're here, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to teach Bubble Beam. Okay, water gun, that's a good start. Didn't crit, that's also amazing. We did crit. And the Stormy didn't crit on the way out. Okay. We're past Misty. Let's go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just wanna play yellow for just a moment because this movement is gonna get a little too tricky. Once I'm in the rocket fight, I can switch back to continuing onto the next fight in red. How many points for Gen 1 Magikarp only? Not happening. There is no amount of points that will make me do that. Yeah, there is, I mean, I'm not doing a Magikarp only Gen 1 run. If only for the sake of it being literally an impossible run. Oh, I have a lot. I can probably check for you if you want. Give me a minute. I have... Hang on, I'm not on the right screen yet. It's this one, right? Only 351,000. Which, yeah, is a lot, but it's not 500,000. Probably also not happening, Becca. Especially with the completely in Dutch part. Sorry. I'll buy a 4th repel. You do some English words, you're not wrong. But no, I don't see me realistically joining that anytime soon. I mean, never say never, right? But I think that'd be highly unlikely. Okay, let's save the game here. It's funny how now the in-game time is split. Because of, okay, hang on, let me start the fight here. Okay, I am dangerously low on HP. To the point where this is a little problematic. Okay. Now that red is done with the rival, I can focus on the rival fighting yellow. Goodbye, boat. Since I have to trade for the speed... I have to do that now, actually. Hey, Sonic. Hello, hello. How are you today? I think Yellow might be taking the lead again here. Hey, Hapkananam with the 45-month resub. Thank you, thank you. Funny message indeed. How are you doing, Hapkananam? Oh, I didn't sell the buy TM yet. Okay, that's probably fine. I'm doing alright. Doing alright. on. I think it might be smarter if I get the game synced up here. TM28 to you. Chum 1. You. Cut the bush. Nope, there's only trash here. Nope, there's only trash here. Okay. Yellow found one. Okay, so yellow has the doors opened. Now I just need to open them on red. I am not gonna do that, Becca. Not for the thrash song. I know the song is a masterpiece. But, you know, that's all you're gonna get. Oh, is it actually the volume levels? Because I can, in that case, I can turn the game down. I mean, I can change that. Okay, I've turned it down a little. Let me know how that is. Okay, glad to hear that that's better. All right, search. Here we go. So the two games are pretty much gonna immediately be desynced to get... Oh wow, that didn't kill it. They're gonna pretty much be immediately desynced, because Search in yellow only has one Pokemon. I mean, Search isn't particularly hard in red either, when you have a Nidoking. I'm gonna still need to teach Dig to, I believe, Charmander. Yes. Because in yellow, I can't dig out here. In red, I can. But I can dig out here. Okay, bike on both games. Okay, that for repel. Each HM1. Okay, those are very synced. Wait. That's cut. That's not what I meant to. Okay, that gets them just desynced enough. Over what do I teach it? Double kick. Okay, I am kind of regretting that they don't both have cut in the same slot.
But here we are. We've made it to 4-turn Thrash Girl. Let's hope for the best.
I mean, at this point, the games are quite synced up. I don't know for how long, but it'll be nice to at least attempt to do Mount Moon with the two games in sync with each other, or mostly in sync with each other. Or Rock Tunnel, I mean. Okay, both made it through the fight. Yellow got confused, but red didn't. But both got the 4 turns Thrash.
Oh, whoops.
Back in sync. Yeah, the movement will keep desyncing a lot of the time because lag frames are different between the two games. And I think even if we were playing the same game, like even if it was red and blue, we'd probably still be running into that issue. So we're just gonna deal with it. We're gonna not care too much, and we're just gonna try and keep them in sync for a little while. Don't know how long we'll last, but... It is a little weird that you can literally do the same input on both games and get different results. Makes playing it a little awkward sometimes. Are my moves actually the same between the two games right now? I pressed down. Oh, that's annoying. At least I didn't get confused. I think our moves actually look the same at this point between the two games. Okay, now comes another tricky one. One of the Pokemon here is a range on yellow, and it's guaranteed on red. This is what I mean. With it being a range on yellow. Obviously. Okay, at least we got through the fight, but I am gonna have to burn my full restore. Okay, actually, that's fine. Oh god, I am on different floors now. Crap. I gotta get out of Rock Tunnel ASAP here. Like, I can deal with this optional, that's fine. That's really not much of a problem. We still have our active repel. So we will be okay. This isn't over yet. At least we're on the same trainer again. Okay, so I don't know if when the repel on yellow is gonna wear out. It may wear out before I'd like it to. But at this point, I'm just gonna have to do my best to make my way out of this place. Which we seem to be doing quite alright at. The problem is I'm suspecting that the plan would be to have the two games go in somewhat different directions soon-ish. One encounter is fine. I'm completely fine with one encounter right now. Okay, well, at least we're through Rock Tunnel. Admittedly, this is taking a little longer than I was expecting it to. Because I figure, you know, if we play both games at the same time, I mean, yeah, it'll probably take me longer than it would to play the games individually, but... like, the sum of the two times should be better than the two separate, if that makes sense. We'll see where we end. I mean, we are through Rock... How is the movement desynced already? Hate it when that happens. Okay, a lot of the shopping is the same. I mean, technically speaking, yellow gets more than red does, but neither gets anything that the other one wouldn't have gotten. Soda pop. Fresh water. Come on, girl. Serious? She just sidestepped away from us. Is like, nope, I'm not gonna deal with this. And another freshwater. Okay, I'm gonna sell... Oh boy, this is gonna take a bit. Just trying to clean up the inventory a little so that they're mostly on the same kind of stuff. Now I would have liked it to be desynced a little. Wait, I can use the gentleman here to desync the two games. I believe I should now have the exact correct amount of items in there compared to the other game. Once I sell the... Really, that should be the same number of items, right? Oh no, the left one might have one more. Yeah, the left one has one more. Just like before, I'm going to use the gentleman to desync them. The left one has one more because I had to use the full restore. I'm going to sell the potions, I think. Now I can finally do my shopping. That took me way too long to figure out. 11 of these. 6 speed. 5 special. 3 attack. Yellow is gonna come up short in terms of money. Actually, no, that's not right. That's not right. No, both are gonna be fine. Never mind. TM7 horn drill and 10 super repels. Okay, we made it. We made this work. And now the beautiful thing is the menus should now look the same. I mean, there's some clutter in the middle that I don't have much of an influence over, but everything else should look the same. How did they get... Right, lag frames. fly. Yeah, I should be able to just put super repel. Yeah, okay, so this is actually in sync the way that I would want it to. I think we do that over horn attack. Actually, I'm fairly sure we do that over horn attack. Oh, crash apparently. X accuracies to slot 3. Rock slide. Reach that over thrash. And lastly, Ice Beam over Bubble Beam. I like that our menus, like our Pokemon, they look the same this way. I'm gonna just quickly switch them so that our flyer is in the same position. We're gonna go through this very slowly, but there is progress. Like, this is looking like serious. Like, at the end of this place, we are going to get desynced. Like, that's gonna happen. There's almost no way around that. But it is nice to have a few fights desynced. I mean, at the end of the tower here, yellow is only going to have one fight, where red is going to have 3. So that's the point where where things are going to split up again. That's just going to happen. But if I can keep my games synced at least up to getting to the top of the tower, we should be able to keep our menus synced. We should be able to, you know, just kind of do quite well. Yeah, I mean, it means that both games are gonna have to wait for each other every once in a while, but having the games mostly synced up is just nice to have. At least for as long as we can. And there's the level up on red. Yeah, both games kind of just occasionally having to wait for each other, but the goal is still to be able to beat the sum of the two games with a hopefully significantly, but at least somewhat significantly faster time than the two games separate. Which combined times would be 4:25 for me. I'm actively struggling to keep them in sync. These games do not want to stay in sync, do they? They do not want to stay in sync. Oh, that's just the reality we're gonna... And I meant... Oh, God, no. Okay. No! Oh, this is bad. Yellow, why? Yellow, why? Oh, this sucks. So, I missed Rock Slide, not once, but twice. And then I got parried by Lick. And I already used my full restore, so there is only one solution for this. I should have enough steps for this. Barely. Okay. Now for basically the real reason that I wanted to keep them synced here. There's a menu coming up where I switch out, or where I use the Poké Doll. I gotta use X items. Okay, yeah, so my repel does wear out. This is really, really, really annoying. It's all because of the hacks on the Ghastly just now. If it wasn't for that, we would have been fine. So I want to move that for... Let's do the X speeds, and then we want to use the Poké Doll. That's the menu that I was talking about. I wanted to make sure that those two I could just do at the same time. Make sure my menus would stay in sync with each other. X accuracy, then horn drill 3 times. That should work. Yeah, Izzy, you're doing that yourself. So yeah, this is kind of where I knew the two games were going to get separated, and there's not much I can do to change that. Because the direction that the games are generally going to go right now is going to be different anyway. So I was going to have to start adjusting sooner or later anyway. There's a few things I might be able to have them do together. Don't know if I want to wait for that though. Right, I don't have Thrash. That'll have to do. We're gonna get healed after this fight anyway, so it's really not a huge deal. Yeah, this is where the paths generally diverge a lot. And I'm gonna just let them, and I'm gonna see how that's gonna end up impacting things. Oh wait, I'm supposed to go up one more floor first. That earthquake. Okay, we horn drill. And we EQ over rock slide. What's my speed there? 2. So I need the carbos. Well, no repels then, I guess. Izzy, can you just not for a minute? Actually, that corner is fine. just need to be able to use the carbos. Okay, this is, the fact that I decided that to keep the two completely separate routes intact is probably making this harder than it needs to be. Or not even probably, it is almost certainly making this harder than it needed to be. Okay, wait, what did I just... Oh, I was in the Pokédex there. I gotta do Safari Zone as best I can. How many carboses do I need? One. Yeah, I have an idea of which one I would like to take then. Which is the one in Cinnabar Mansion. Okay, we made it. That took a while. Oh, come on. I did it again. Actually, I think I could have kept them in sync now that I start thinking about it. Now that I think about it, I could have completely kept these two games in sync with each other and saved myself a whole lot of headache. Because both needed to go to Selfco and needed to go to... Okay, I could have made this significantly easier on myself. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, why was I stupid? Like, what was my reason for being stupid again? Okay, we got Earthquake on both games now. I think both games are now on their final moveset. Oh, wait, I think I remember why we do them differently. It has everything to do with the fact that we need to get Lapras here. At least I think. Izzy, you're being quite a pain today, you know that? No, just lay down instead of... Just lay down. Ow. You are hurting me, kitty. Not intentionally, I mean... Basically, she keeps getting on my lap and then standing exactly on where my scar is from the surgery. Which, you know, I don't feel it. I don't feel the scar much at all, except when, you know, she's putting her full weight on it. Then absolutely I can feel it. So, like, it's not like she can know that she's doing that, but... It is quite irritating. And, like, I'm fine with her laying down on my lap. She is now, and that's completely fine. Just not as fine with her hurting me in the process. That did not... Oh, gosh. Well, I did just save both games, so it's not that bad. I should have been able to see that one coming, though. I'm supposed to Earthquake on the Growlithe instead. I think. Actually, no. No. Hang on. Okay, I was doing that entire fight wrong. It's okay, I saved before it. I actually need to save 2 Horndrills. Okay. Let's do that again. And a little bit better this time. This should kill now with the X special. Okay. That's the self-rifle done. Okay, so I just have to beat Giovanni there. And then do Safari Zone in yellow, and then we should be entirely caught up again. But I should have played that a little smarter and kept the two games in sync. I would have been able to. Realistically. That's not to say it would have been easy after. I mean, yellow does Erica next, whereas red does Koga next, so there is going to be some differences, but... Okay, that's now Giovanni done in both games. I mean, we are making really solid progress, at least. Again, can you please not jump in his room? Like, everything is shaking whenever you do that, and I'm not a fan. It's going alright. I'm about to start the gym leader rush. I've done most of the story bits now. So... could have been a lot worse. It did. What is... I needed to use the Pokemon Center. Not sure how that is using the center to my advantage. It's literally... yeah, I mean... using corners and whatnot in a smart and strategic way isn't cheating. I'm still confident 3.5 is very doable. At this point, I'm pretty sure 3.5 is very doable. Like, I've done all of the story bits that I needed to do with the exception of one on both games, and then I just have a bunch of gym leaders that I need to defeat, which hopefully shouldn't take more than an hour at this point. We had a bit of a rocky start, but it's coming together quite nicely at this point. Yeah, I kind of just put one together right before stream.
Looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, this I spent like 5 minutes on it. Thank you. Love you, honey. Alright, gym number 4 in yellow. Which doesn't sound like we are very far, but, you know, once you get to the 4th gym in this generation, it means you're quite far. Okay, 3 ice beams, and then that should be done. That should be Erica done. I think I'm not gonna go for red bar strats in this. I'll just elixir. And then just earthquake 4 times instead of 3. I think that's the smart thing to do here. Alright, now we're also gonna go beat Koga on the other game. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we are going for red bar strats then. It's okay. That doesn't really matter too much. It's a little annoying. But because it just means that I can't afford as many mistakes. Yeah, that's 4 badges on both games. And I'm pretty confident we can get there at this point. We get strength. Okay, I'm trying to just think for a minute about what's smart. Do I... Okay, I mean, I am at the very least going to use the rare candies here. See, here's the thing. I can opt to do Koga on yellow, and then try and go do the next sequence with both games at the same time, because it is the same path, and that would probably be easier. Alternatively, I can decide not to do that. And I could then go do Sabrina next on... Like, it would mean doing Sabrina next on yellow. Or I wait for like a minute or two on red. I think I'll wait a minute or two on red. That's probably the smarter thing to do. There isn't a whole lot that can go wrong here, I don't think. It's accuracy. That's a little annoying. X speed. Ow. Poke flute. They just don't crit me. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the correct play. Although that does mean my experience is going to be slightly different. You know what? Actually, it doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. It just means that I may get some random encounters while in the Cinnabar Mansion. The problem with Cinnabar Mansion is that there are some encounters that are really high level, which I now may run into. Guess we're saving Pokemon Red. I gotta pick up strength real quick. I mean, that's not a very bad tile for me to be on save. Lapras learned Surf. Lapras learned Strength. Alright, look at that. We are synced up again. It took a little while. But we are all synced up again. So this is, technically speaking, the last story part. After this, we just rush the remaining 3/4 gym leaders. 4 on red, 3 on yellow. And then once we have, that's it. We'll have pretty much... We'll be able to go to the Elite Four. I want to do Victory Road synced as well. That would be smart. So this is what I mean with we may get some encounters that I don't repel away on yellow right now. Like we repel some of them away, just not all of them. Both use the carbos. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. It is what it is. Oh, and now the other one has the encounter. Okay, rare candy. It shouldn't be too much of a point at this point, Blue Blade. Okay, that is Cinnabar Mansion done. Yeah. Right here. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I should be okay for a little bit. Okay, let's see. I gotta do Blaine first. So this is where I have to desync them. Because on yellow, I gotta do Sabrina next. And on red, I gotta do Blaine next. Okay, I can just mash A here. Actually, I gotta be very careful about just mashing A there. I'll just save both games. That's probably the safer way to go about this. I want to save for Sabrina. Oh, I gotta say yes again, otherwise that trainer will still fight me. X accuracy. Speed. Okay. Night night. At least I assumed you were going to bed. Yeah, that okay. No comment. Alright, that's 6 badges in yellow. And we're still on 4 in red, but we're about to get number 5. Let's Blaine. Oh no, it just tells me what to do on some crucial fights that are dependent on the base stats that I started with. And even then I'm right now kind of just ignoring it. Because it said to use an X accuracy and then horn drill 3 times and I didn't. I decided to go for earthquake instead. Which doesn't really matter. Since I'm taking extra centers anyway, playing this a little more conservatively than I would in a normal run, I have more power points, so... Let's see, second is Erica. Night night, honey. I'll probably be up with you in not too long. Love you too. Why dump it there? Okay. Yeah, the thing is, you always throw things on my desk and then complain that my desk is a mess. That one I'll let you clean up yourself. Don't you dare. Not a question I can answer for you. Thanks. I won't. Almost done with both, really, return. Yellow is ahead, but not by much. Oh crap, I used a super repel there. I didn't mean to do that. Oopsie. Okay. I'm gonna be down a super repel on yellow. That's not a huge deal. So yellow is basically a gym ahead. Which sounds like a lot, but considering after I'm done with the grass gym here, I can just immediately fly to Saffron and go beat the psychic gym. Essentially, yellow is about a fight and a half ahead. So it's really not much. Yeah, Sabrina's is entirely optional trainers, and we've already unlocked the gym. That's why the difference really isn't all that big, and then I can... What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to quickly just knock out Sabrina's gym in red, and then I'm going to sync up going into Giovanni's gym again, probably. Let's for this, okay. Well, I can't. Let's for the sake of it save both games. I mean, in this one, it's just diagonal down. Quite easy. So I'm gonna just have yellow wait here. Wait here. As in not do anything for a moment. Don't tell that to my friends. Well, I mean, if they happen to be watching today, well, there's nothing I can do anymore. That's the end of that. Oh, Alakazam was still faster than me? Oh, that could be bad. That could have been very bad. That's a Lapras. Right, I believe now the games are mostly synced up again. Wait, Lucky Miss? Lucky Miss on what? The Alakazam didn't miss, though. The first turn he used Reflect, which is why we didn't one-shot him. Why is desync so annoying sometimes? Like, if he hadn't used Reflect on turn 1, we would have one-shot him. so it was actually rather annoying that he didn't attack on turn 1. And the second turn he used Psybeam, and that one definitely hit. Let's see, we X special on both here. Some of the yellow sprites are quite good.
Not saying all of them. Certainly not saying that, but...
Not that I remember. Oh, my special was too low for that. Okay. Yeah, the sprite work was a lot better. A lot better in yellow. And how do we get desynced in 2 tiles? Alright, gym number 8 for both games. Let's see. Speed there, X accuracy there. Wait, if it uses dig and use X accuracy when it's underground, why? I can just do that. Wait. That's a Earthquake misses in Gen 1 when it's underground. Of course he also crits. It's like, why don't I just use Earthquake? But now I understand. I know. Still, that doesn't kill without a crit. I'm thinking about this for too long. Like, I can take the center with both games after the fight. The team's still a pushover on both games. He's a little stronger on yellow, and he can actually kind of be a pain if if he uses Dig, because Dig crit does kill. Okay, so we've beaten Giovanni. We have 8 badges. We take the center to heal. Oh yeah, that's the case for a lot of gym leaders. We try to have our backs full a lot of the time because it just saves on a ton of text from getting the TM. Oh yeah, that too. It just saves a lot of text, is the point. Earthquake on Kadabra. Thing is, I need an X speed on... Need to desync them for a moment. Oh, that... It's just about the worst thing I could do. The Pokemon Red needs an X speed, I believe, to outspeed the Alakazam. Actually... Yeah, because it uses an X special. Yeah, it uses an X special. It's not an X speed. X special. I'll just put up an X speed. That works here. I'm planning on just healing for... or healing at the, or just before the Elite Four anyway. Not a crit. I'm gonna finish the fight on red and save first before I soft reset. Just so that at least one of the games is done. Okay, that worked. As the saving prompt is there, you can't soft reset. Like, the soft reset keys are locked for a moment.
The worst part is, I could have just earthquaked Magneton. That would have worked. I could have, like...
Although, to be fair, Kadabra is faster. That's the problem. That's actually a problem now that I think about it. Kadabra is faster than me. Which would be completely fine if I didn't get crit. Actually, yeah, I think that's the real problem. I got crit. If that didn't happen, we would have been fine. Yo, Nuclear with the raid. Welcome, raiders. Have you been, Nuclear? It's good to see you. And welcome, raiders. Hello, I'm Cruel. I do dumb Pokemon things sometimes. Okay, I was about to say, don't tell me I got crit again. Right now we're doing 2 games, 1 controller, so every input I do in is registered on both games because they're both connected to the same controller. We've already beaten the rival here on red, but I got crit by Kadabra on yellow. We do, yeah. It sure has been a while. I'm glad to hear you've been good, though. So what have you been up to? What's going on in your life? Because it has been a fair bit. A Hecta, as in Gen 1 through 9? Not anytime soon, if only because I haven't learned Gen 9 yet. Oh, that's another thing that's gonna come into play, isn't it? When using strength, I have to consider not using... Doing daily arts of various VTubers and have started to stream it, thus killing my height. Nice. Nice, nice. That sounds like good stuff right there. Oh, that's actually convenient. Yeah, that worked out real nice. I was a little worried because my strength Pokemon in red also has Dig. Using Dig here would be a very, very bad idea. I'm actually surprised how well that's going so far. Hello seems to have a little bit of lag there. That's okay though. We can deal. Here we go. But yeah, this is a little anticlimactic, I know. But you can probably see why I wanted to make sure to do this entire section synced up between the two games. Yeah, for some reason this room is lagging a lot more in yellow. I don't know why that is. It's quite a notable difference too. Alright, here we are. The Pokemon League. Now, I could go ahead and deposit a bunch of Pokemon. I'm not going to do that. Because trying to menu through that is going to just be hell. I'll take the minute or like, yeah, the like 30 seconds time loss later on. So, and here we are going to start seeing a few big differences. Lorelei in red, not really a big deal. Lorelei in yellow, quite scary. Here we switch to ducks. Alright, we've got this fight in the bag now. That is one E4 member down, effectively. 4 more fights to go. Yeah, there was no way this was going to take 4 hours.
Which is good.
I'll have the Lapras left on that Lorelei. Where's my full restore? I'll save in between certain fights here and there, sure. Sure thing, Nuclear. Thanks again for the raid. Enjoy some relaxing time. It's accuracy, high speed. Wait, did I already use it on that game? No. Okay, yeah, I got them synced now. I needed to think about that for a moment. My brain was just in error for a moment. It was just, yeah. Stuck not really knowing what to think. All right. I probably should have saved before this one. Agatha can be a little weird sometimes. It's not as bad as Lance, though. Okay. This one, so the left one I can X accuracy, the right one I can't. I think I do have to X speed with both. Oh, it's because of those two super repels. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I think it's just the Gengar left now on both. The Earthquake, both of those, and that's that. Okay. Let's go. That's Agatha done. Just Lance and Champion. Just Lance and Champion. This one we want to save before. No doubt about it. Full health still on both. That explains why I was so low level with my, I just completely forgot about 2 rare candies that I had. That's kind of that's kind of bad. Oopsie. I don't know how I managed to do that, though. That's genuinely somewhat impressive. Okay, I think the smart thing is to do it like this. And then use the last one just before the rival. That way I know for sure that I don't get into trouble because of static or dash boosts. Both of them hit. Neither of them crit. Full restores. Yeah, I kind of ruined it there, though. That's because I needed to use different items between the games. Now we just mash Ice Beam, and then we just have the champion fight remaining. And then we'll have beaten both games in at least under 3.5, which is pretty solid, I'd say. Level 54. Good, because it means I can get 55. I don't have any elixirs left, do I? I do. Oh, I have plenty. Elixir. Save the game. Okay, let's go face the champion then. Right, chat. Here we go. Final battle. The right one is a little scary here. Oh crap, I need them desynced for this. Although Ice Beam might work on the pit shot as well. Does not. In that case, we're gonna have to take a Sky Attack to the face. Okay. We're about to use an X accuracy, so it won't. Like, don't worry about the accuracy drop there. We're gonna deal with that. Okay, yep, that worked out. That's it. We win. Now I just gotta mash A until the end. That was tough at times, but not super hard, but that was a little tricky at times. The Ninetales is faster. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it doesn't do that much, but the fact that we're now stuck in the fire spin is a little annoying. Okay, red's done. Let's start with that, right? Red is done. Problem is, I think it has quick attack, so I think I want to use a full restore now. I think I have to use a full restore now. I am still slower. Holy... Okay. This is not good. I am still slower than the Ninetales. I'll use the X attack. That gets me another speed badge boost. That's a priority move. Okay, we are faster now. About to say, quick attack is a priority move, so that won't count. Okay, that's all of the badge boosts gone. Magneton certainly isn't faster than I am, and Vaporeon isn't either. Alright, that's the last Pokemon. Yeah, not quite in the 3 hours that I was hoping I would be able to do this, but 320, probably 324, something like that. That's quite respectable. Hope you guys had fun. Skip, I don't know if you're here, but if you are, I hope that the run was worth it for you. I'm gonna mark that as complete. Because it is. I'm gonna take that off my to-do list. Okay, this one was on the to-do list for a while. One of the many things on the to-do list. Well, actually, there's only 5 runs left on it. Some of them quite long, admittedly. Alright, that's red time, or that's time for red. Just gotta wait on time for yellow. Gotta sit through my 4 Pokemon.
Didn't want to bother depositing them and having to deal with those menus.
And that's time for yellow. 320, 326. Not bad. Chat, I hope you guys had fun.